Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. This is a deep analysis, of course, that we used to have every weekend, of course, because the market might get slow in the weekend and nothing really interesting as price action currently. So it is, of course, a chance to reanalyze Bitcoin from the monthly onto the 1 hour chart in a very deep analysis. So to remind you, of course, on the weekly chart or on the all-time history of Bitcoin, we have finished almost a wave 5 toward the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we are possibly, of course, here finished a 1, a 2, and then probably 3, 4, 5 as well. However, if this is, of course, a scenario of a correction, we cannot say so because we are already impulsive here, meaning turning this, of course, as something else rather than just a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Of course, it might be here a double 1, 2 where we have 1, 2 and 1, 2, and then probably a triple 1, 2s. And we would like to see, of course, higher prices for Bitcoin moving in a very massive wave toward the upside. However, of course, this is just a scenario right now that it might happen, of course, and it might not. But what we are, of course, concerned about it is that this bull run, if it is finished or not, we are very close to our parabolic curve here, where we have touched every cycle, the all-time high, of course, and currently we are very close to it. Now, of course, we can still go a little bit higher to touch exactly, of course, the 130k even. It is very possible, and then start to think that this bull run might has ended 100%. Now, it's not necessarily even to touch it. It can even go down already in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost looking like a finished impulse toward the upside, but maybe one more wave is very likely to happen. And I would like, of course, to come back a little bit to the daily and see on the daily those channels, where are we based on the channeling here. We have, of course, our base channel taken from the wave 1 based on your wave 2. We still over it with the price action still over this base channel, which is a good thing. We are still also inside the acceleration channel taken from your wave 2 and based on your wave 3. This is your acceleration channel where you still want to see the price accelerating toward the upside. And we are still ranging inside it. Now, of course, we are moving lower and lower. As you can see, the first we broken this, it has started to use the middle line, of course, as a support here, and then broke it. Then it has started to use it now as a resistance. Now, would we touch this channel base point here? It is very possible. Of course, we have many possibilities and scenarios that it might, of course, touch this baseline, and then, of course, maybe continuation to the upside. Now, one mark here to see that the price action has started to be, of course, curvy here and start to looking moving towards the downside with a curve. And when we see something like this, like a rounded shape a little bit, it might, of course, start to tell us that the price might, of course, reach lower prices until, of course, it finds strength again and move toward the upside. So yeah, very possible as well to get towards the downside, hit those channel, maybe hitting even the base channel at this point in confluence here, where we can see, of course, and then maybe moving toward the upside again. This target is the 87,000, which is the most important technical support as well. Taken from here. So this is very possible to hit this target, and then, of course, continuation toward the upside to finish this impulse as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave 5. And so let's see also the possibilities. We have several possibilities, of course, for this deep analysis, new possibilities. As you can see, we have well, the only bullish possibility is very known, one more wave toward the upside at least, to finish, of course, this bull run. And then we are looking, of course, for several bearish scenarios. Those bearish scenarios, of course, are much more internally. It means, of course, inside this correction here, where we might see several ones. So I'm gonna explain it actually on the 4-hour chart here to see it much clearer. And yeah, on the 4-hour chart here we are looking, of course, for the bullish scenario, which is, of course, a possible 1-2 formation. So the bullish scenario is this one after finished WXY. By all means, you have, of course, several 1-2s still, triple 1-2s, and we're looking 3, 4, 5, finish the wave 5 in orange here, and you have a W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y might have a finish, of course, or be finished as a zigzag. A target of a zigzag can be reached already here. It's an uncommon target, of course, preferably to move lower, but it can be. In case we are bullish, you would like to start to see higher prices already from now, and looking for a formation for a 1-2, meaning you would like to see a 1-2 formation and then continuation toward the upside. As I said yesterday, we are starting fresh for a bullish scenario. In case we are bullish, we would like to start fresh for a 1-2 formation, 3, 4, 5, after, of course, the bottom here of a wave Y. So this is the only bullish scenario right now available. A little bit lower possibility because this WXY looks unfinished with a wave Y as a zigzag, looking, of course, yeah, very shallow. Did not take the low of W as well, preferably to take the W. And yeah, and moving a little bit lower and then start the formation again of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for bullish scenario. Therefore, yeah, it's still a little bit lower possibility to move higher from here, but everything is possible. The market can be, so the possibility should be there. This is a bullish possibility. Now, the wave C in ending a diagonal, of course, where you would like to see here a finished, of course, expanding flat. And this expanding flat is coming, of course, as well, the same scenario, bullish scenario, where you have triple 1-2s. You have top for a wave 5 here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the orange scenario, finishing a wave 3. In the white scenario, so 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, after this, you're looking at an expanding flat, A, B, and a C. Now, your wave C can be a contracting a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing a wave C, finishing a wave 4 with it. After, of course, stopping for wave 3, then, of course, continuation toward the upside. Your target for a wave 4 and a 5, of course, in case you are in contracting diagonal here, where we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, your wave 4 can already now be finished, because we have hit the first perfect target for a wave 4 based on this, of course, scenario here. But let me check. I think this should be reversed. Yes, so we still need, of course, a little bit higher, right? And then to move toward the downside as shown in the path here. So preferably to reach the 96,000, you want to go higher anyway with a zigzag form and then continuation as another zigzag as well, or an impulse, because it is possible here that your diagonal is impulsive. Where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and possibly correction, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the possibility. Of course, this is a possibility for this a bearish scenario, short-term bearish, of course, because you're still in bullish here. You want to finish a correction and continuation towards a wave 3 in the yellow scenario, of course, where you have finished a wave 4 here with an expanding flat. Now, the last possibility, of course, for, not the last, I would say, the second possibility is a formation of a 1-2, meaning you have finished here, you have finished a, bearish 1-2, you have finished a bull run. Your bull run has finished here as a WXY. You have finished here, of course, your W as a zigzag. And this zigzag has repeated for an X, and of course A, B, C, D, E for a wave Y. So W, X, Y, 3 corrective waves, long a correction, and then starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. for a wave 1 in leading diagonal, and then 2, 3, 4, and a 5, finishing this bull run exactly here. And you have started a 1, 2 formation, of course, where you have an impulse here possibly, and then A, B, and a C. And then of course right now, or the last days that we saw of course a formation of another 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 for your wave 3 here. Yeah, sorry, for your wave 3 here. Yeah, and then 4 and a 5, of course, continuation for lower prices. And we don't forget that this might, of course, anyway, close our CME gap that we have already here between the 77,000 and the 80,000, which is a perfect target for it, of course, as a scenario here that it might, of course, be unfolding. So this is your ultimate bearish, I would say this is like, like a bear market here. And of course it's gonna spend a while, of course, with lower prices. Now the last scenario for, of course, for the last scenario is a zigzag. The last scenario is a zigzag here, where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course triple 1-2s again. Here you are in the orange scenario where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. Your wave 4 might be a zigzag A, B, and a C, and then continuation simply toward the upside. Your wave C's still have to reach the 1-to-1 fib level, right? And yeah, you would like to move there impulsively, meaning if in case this is a 1-2, your wave 3 should be, of course, like impulsive and not the shortest. So your impulse is gonna be kind of like this shape. Your wave 4 also should not interfere with your wave 1. So it's gonna look like kind of like contracting diagonal, but it is an impulse because the 4 do not overlap with your wave 1. Now, even it can be, of course, even as a second scenario here, not necessarily impulse, it can be as well a contracting diagonal like this, where your wave 4 can interfere with your wave 1. So by all means, you would like to see a finished wave C here, whether diagonal or an impulse, hitting the 88,000 almost, of course, taken here. I think lower, it should be 87. Let me adjust this. Yes, 87,000 for, of course, let me put it very precise. Here we go. 87,147. This is your target, of course, for a wave C, wave 4 finished, and then moving for higher prices. And of course, as you can see, so we have several scenarios, guys. Those scenarios, most of them are a little bit short-term bearish. One of them is very bearish, of course, with an impulse toward the downside. The short-term, of course, you want to finish this zigzag, or you want to finish, of course, a contracting diagonal. Even, of course, your contracting diagonal wants to reach the 87,000. And as we saw on the weekly channels, if you remember the channeling, we saw that we want to reach this area, as you can see, because after hitting this high here, we are probably moving, of course, under the midline of this lower part, and we are ranging to reach, of course, this area, which is in confluence with your targets as well, and start to move toward the upside. So this is a very, very important target, and also it is, of course, technically it is also your last support before we dive deeper, of course, to close that CME gap. We will see that later on. So to be watched, of course, this is your key level here to be watched, 87,000 almost, not to be broken. And of course, in case you are bullish and you want to see continuation, you would not like to break this this level. So yeah, basically these are the insights. Now on the 4-hour chart and the daily, I would say is the same. So if we take a look a little bit closer right now on the 1-hour chart, because we have, of course, a massive drop here after, of course, another massive drop. So as we said, we are probably here, we have finished already an impulse toward the downside. Now, if you remember, we have also another impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but of course, the low here has been taken. So that is no 1, 2, meaning no bullish scenario. And this wave C because it is impulsive, belongs to this A, B, and a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this is a wave A, B, C corrective, meaning the trend was already toward the downside because your correction is upside, meaning the trend is downside. And after this impulse toward the downside here, you got a wave 1, 2, and then right now you have finished another 1, 2, right, in an impulse. So you're looking right now for a wave 2. Your wave 2, of course, has reached, of course, your 0.38 Fib level, as we can see here, right? And we are looking, of course, at least as a zigzag here, A, B, and a C yesterday, right, was hitting at least the 1-to-1 Fib level. Now, this did not yet happen. So, yeah, very possible, of course, maybe to reach the 1-to-1, maybe not. Maybe this will be just a very shallow correction and then continuation toward the downside. And then because we are looking here at kind of contracting diagonal, so let's move even to the 15-minute chart here. This price action looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finished leading diagonal, and that is when you have a diagonal. You would like to see, of course, lower prices as impulse, right? Leading diagonal meaning it's a start of an impulse. And this might be, of course, another 1, 2 after A, B, C, and then, of course, looking for lower prices again. So basically, these are the insight and the possibilities for Bitcoin for this week. This is what we have to watch for the next week. Those scenarios, as we said, higher possibility, of course, as you can see, tending to be much more bearish than the bullish, because we said, yes, the bullish need, of course, a new formation of 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And in that case scenario, of course, if you have 1, 2 here, and then, yeah, maybe your 1, 2 did not finish yet, maybe your wave 2 still need to be an expanding flat here as A, B, and a C. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen during this week, and maybe lower prices are gonna be seen as well, maybe impulsively, maybe not. Normally in the weekend, it's ranging slowly. So that was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next analysis. Bye bye.